Hey Berks County, let's talk about why someone would sell their house to a cash house buyer like Berks County house buyers instead of listing it on the market with a real estate agent. So I'm going to go over the last couple homes that we have purchased and what the situations have been that homeowners have been in that made them want to sell the home cash. So the last house that we did was a home that a family needed to sell so that their family member could move quickly into a nursing home facility. Unfortunately, in these situations, a lot of times families are not prepared, and the money that the seller has that needs to go into the nursing home is locked up in their house in the form of equity. So they don't have 6 to 8 weeks to wait for someone to get a mortgage and come in and purchase the property, because they need that money quickly so that they can help pay for care. Prior to purchasing that house here in Berks County, we had another homeowner who purchased a home at a tax sale and didn't know that there was a squatter in the property. So this means that there was someone living in the property that didn't own the property and was not a tenant of the property. Getting a squatter out of a property can be very time consuming and very costly. When someone is living in your house but has no right to live in your house, unfortunately, they actually have a lot of rights. So you have to take them to court, kind of like you're filing the eviction process, and get that person removed from the home. That's a lot for a homeowner to deal with, and a lot of times they don't want to go through that process. So they call us to see if we'll buy their house cash with the squatter in place. Sometimes we help families walk them through the process of how to get the squatter removed. It really depends on the situation and how much the homeowner wants to take on. In this situation, the homeowner didn't want to take anything on. They just wanted to get rid of the property quickly. The house before that one that we purchased in Berks County was another landlord-owned property that was tenant-occupied, and the tenants weren't taking such great care of the place. They paid on time sometimes, but not all the time. Now, they weren't a squatter like the property prior to this one. They did have a lease in place, but they weren't exactly the best tenants, and the landlord was getting older. He had owned the property for a long time, and he was just burnt out and sick of dealing with this tenant and trying to get payment from the tenant. So he called us to see if we would buy the property cash, as is here in Berks County, and take care of the tenant that was living there, which is exactly what we did. So we will buy a property with a non-paying tenant in place, and we take on the responsibility of getting that tenant removed or getting them under a new lease agreement and trying to start fresh as long as they're willing to pay their rent on time. The property prior to that was a homeowner that had a significant lien on the property and didn't know about it. It was kind of a surprise. They had a spouse that had passed away. They didn't know they had this lien on the house, and the bank that the lien was with was threatening to file foreclosure. The homeowner had equity in the home, couldn't really take care of the home anymore. He was getting up there in age and just needed to sell the property quickly. The house was kind of falling in disrepair, had a lot of things that needed to be fixed, and the bank was threatening to file foreclosure and adding on all these attorney fees and late fees for this loan that he didn't even know about. So the faster he sold the home, the better he could preserve his equity, because as time goes on, attorney fees and late fees rack up. So he just wanted to get rid of the home quickly. Instead of waiting for a traditional home buyer and putting the house on the market and waiting 6 to 8 weeks for someone to get a mortgage, he decided to sell to Berks County house buyers for cash so that he could close the property rather quickly. So what you'll notice in all of these stories, and you can see more testimonials on our website at berks610.com, and we do have some posts on there that are stories about why people sold to us, but there is a common theme. Typically, people need to sell quickly, so they're selling for cash. They don't have time and they need to liquidate and need those funds, or they have a home that's in need of significant repair and they don't want people walking through and seeing their home, and they want to be able to sell to someone that's going to take care of all those repairs. Or they have a rental property and they're burnt out on being a landlord or tired of dealing with tenants, and they don't want to have to go through putting the house on the market, having a bunch of people walk through their tenant occupied property and getting permission from the tenant to do so. So they sell to someone for cash. So the perks of working with us are that we can buy quickly, we can buy things in need of repair, we can offer a flexible settlement date. Sometimes people sell to us for cash because they want cash in hand to go buy the next house, but they need time living in their current house until they go buy the next one. So it's the easiest, most flexible way to sell your home is to a cash house buyer like Berks County House Buyers. We've been working in Berks County for 12 years. We offer free, no obligation consultations. If you're on the fence about whether to list your home on the market or sell it cash, give us a call, 610-816-6205, or check out our website, berks610.com.